New this morning, state and local authorities made a human trafficking bust in Mississippi Thursday.
One of the suspects arrested is from our area in Baldwin. Now, this morning, we want to get a better idea of what human trafficking is and what the public needs to know about the problem.
So this morning, we have a live interview with Ashlee Lucas, who is the statewide human trafficking coordinator for the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How concerned should we be about human trafficking in Mississippi after this bust happened?
We should be very concerned about human trafficking in Mississippi. We initiated at the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation 260 human trafficking cases in the past year.
Wow. Well, can you tell us more about what the public needs to know about this and what can they do to help fight this?
Sure. So, one thing is, I think a lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of familial trafficking. Over 100 cases were actually familial trafficking, where a parent or a relative was involved in the trafficking in exploiting of the child. And so it's very important, they could be exchanging the child for drugs. They could be exchanging the child for rent money. This is happening throughout our state, and we're getting these tips in, and we are diligently investigating them.
So for folks watching at home wanting to know more, how can they educate themselves about human trafficking?
Sure. There are several great resources. We have a website, dps.ms.gov/human trafficking. It's also connected through our MBI site on the Department of Public Safety page. There are a lot of resources on there that you can go to. Shared Hope is a great resource, a national resource. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, that's another good resource.
All right, well, this is some sick stuff. I think anybody would agree with that. So we know you can't discuss investigative techniques, but what's it like being a part of the team that fights this?
It's a calling. We are all super passionate about helping these victims. That is our number one goal, is to identify the victims and get them out. And if we get a prosecution and, an arrest, that's gravy. But what we really want to do is we want to identify victims, and we want to get them out of this this tragedy, because these, no matter if they seem to be selling themselves or someone is perpetrating, someone is behind the scenes, we know that they are a victim of probably childhood sexual abuse. We know our foster children are our most vulnerable children. We have got to do something in Mississippi to, it's very important that we get to the root cause of this issue, and childhood sexual abuse is one of the root causes. Mm-hmm. These children run away, and then they may be found by a pimp. What are we doing as communities to find these children, these missing runaway children? Rather than putting them in a detention facility, let's get them the services that they need. Mm-hmm. We've got to do something different here, because what we're doing is not working.
And going off of that answer, I feel like most of us can agree that this is an issue that is sick, like Bronson said. And going off of what you said, are there tools and resources that Mississippi and our country needs more of to better fight this problem?
Sure. Resources, we need more law enforcement. We need more investigators. We have 5 investigators in the state of Mississippi that solely focus on human trafficking at MBI, and they are covered up in cases. We made 19 arrests. These are over the past year. And we recovered approximately, or assisted in the recovery of 28 children. Also, we're having to go train, throughout the state. So we've trained over 600 law enforcement this past year on how to identify it, because if they don't identify it, then we're not going to be able to get the case. But once we get the case, we've got so many cases. We need more law enforcement, mm-hmm. Definitely more reinforcement.
All right, Ms. Lucas, well, thank you for your time. That's all the time we have this morning.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.